Mm.
Welcome, Suzanne. It's a pleasure to have you here today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I've been looking forward to our conversation because we are going to talk about Canva today. And as a business owner, I absolutely love Canva. So we will talk about Canva, but first, let's talk a little bit about you. Tell us a little bit about yourself. What is your story?
Well, oh gosh, I'm Suzanne, and I run a business called Pink Diamonds Office Support, and yeah, I've been in business for nearly 8 years now, and it was I kind of started the business through necessity, really, rather than something that I thought I wanted to do, if you know what I mean. So I'll kind of give you a bit of background about how it all began. I was in a car accident, a very small one, but the kind of knock-on implications of the car accident. A lady ran into the back of me, and the following day I went into hospital because I had pains in my neck, and I ended up on the stroke ward for a week. I think I was about 26 at the time, and I was working full time in a school at the time in an admin role, and yeah, the accident had caused a dissection in my neck, and it was a really serious issue in my neck, and the consultant said to me at one stage, you could drop down dead at any time because of the injury. So I thought, oh my goodness, I hated being off sick from work. I've always loved working. I've always enjoyed doing what I do. And my husband said, well, why don't you hand in your notice and start a business? So I started off as a very general VA, helping other small business owners to just to stay organised, really. And I started, one of my very first clients was a HR consultant, and I really enjoyed the work that she was giving to me. And then over the years, I've started working with more and more. And yeah, so now I've kind of gone from a general VA into more of a HR executive assistant. But yeah, I always look back on that accident now, and I don't kind of look back and think, oh, I wish that hadn't have happened. I just think, oh goodness, it happened for a reason, and I am where I am today because of that accident. So yeah, that's always quite it was quite a bump in the road. It was like 18 months of being quite poorly, but my business gave me something to focus on, and I could build it up in my own time. But yeah, I feel really fortunate to, like, touch wood, I've had no ill effects or anything. But yeah, I love what I do. I'm really enjoying it. But over the past few years, that's where Canva's come in, really. I do a lot of Canva work for my clients now, and instead of doing it for my clients, I've started moving over into coaching people how to do it themselves. So that's where I am at the moment.
Oh, wow. What an inspiring story, going through an accident which had such a huge impact, but using that opportunity to turn your life completely around and going on to help other people.
Definitely, yeah. It was, yeah, sometimes I just think things happen to you, and you're kind of, you can be at a bit of a crossroads, really, and you
Yeah.
can go down one route and kind of look negatively on it, or you can go down another route and see it as more of as an opportunity, really. And that's what I did. That's how I kind of, that helped me deal with everything that happened. So yeah, it was yeah, I really love helping people now to develop their skills, and it fits in really nicely with your group, I think, because like your group's very much about being authentic and storytelling, getting your story out there. And I think Canva can be it's a nice way of, I suppose I see a social media visual as a bit of a storefront, really, especially on the internet. Like you could have a beautiful post written, but sometimes a Canva visual can just catch the eye and make people stop scrolling. So I think that's why I love using Canva so much. So yeah, it fits in very nicely.
Yeah, it's a powerful tool. And I absolutely loved about what you talked about being at crossroads and making a choice, because a lot of times what happens to us, we can't really choose that,
Yeah.
but how we respond to that event is often, or rather, it's always within our choice.
Yes, yeah, definitely. And I found that before the accident, I'd always been in employment, and I'd always had I suppose I'd always had the mindset of being an employee. I was kind of told what to do. But once I started my own business, that kind of got me onto the path of self-development and mindset work. And yeah, so I'm a really big advocate of positive thinking and working on your mindset. And I think a lot of the time, the mindset piece is what can really help to push you in your business, if that makes sense. You could have all the skills in the world, but if you've not got the positive mindset to back that up, I think having a positive mindset is a huge piece of the puzzle, really.
I agree. I think that's where the maximum work lies in, because if you don't have the mindset, then nothing else is going to work anyway.
Definitely, yeah. So it's so important, like what like the business owners in this group do, because they're helping people to work on themselves and to get the best out of themselves. And yeah, it does fascinate me. I love working with coaches and hearing the stories and things. It's really interesting.
Yes, I love it too.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
thank you for sharing your story with us. It could be anyone's story. It is such an inspiring story. It was definitely my story. The event was different,
right.
but I made similar choices. I moved away from employment, set up my business,
Mm.
had to do a lot of work here because
Yeah.
that's where all the blocks were. And when I did the work here, that's when things started moving in my business. I tried to do it the other way around, but from experience, I know none of it worked.
Definitely. Oh yeah, I was exactly the same. Yeah, it's because I don't, like, now I do still read a lot of books and I listen to podcasts and things, but I do work with like a number of different coaches to, I don't know, it's the more you work with someone, the more things start to just click into place, if you know what I mean, and things that would have terrified me a few years ago, like doing something like this, I don't think I would have signed up to do something like this a few years ago. But because of the work I've done, I now, in my mindset, I look forward to doing this kind of activity as well, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a very exciting time.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about Canva. I want to share with you that we have a live audience building up here. We have Carolyn, who has joined us from Singapore.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, we'll see if anyone else joins in. Thank you, Carolyn, for joining us live. And Suzanne, let's talk about Canva. How can we use Canva to get our business noticed?
Well, it was funny actually. The other day, I put a post out on my social media, and I kind of assumed, which was wrong of me really, that everyone knew what Canva actually was, and someone just commented underneath, what is it? So I thought, oh, okay, that's a good starting point, because not everyone, maybe people have heard of it, but they don't know exactly what it is. So I thought it would be good to begin with, just to kind of explain what Canva is. So basically, Canva is like an online graphic design tool, and there's a lot of templates in there. It's free to join, and you can, once you've logged in and you've got things set up, that's when you can start to have fun and start to really personalize everything to your brand. So yeah, I thought it was important just to kind of get that out there, just in case people were like, what is Canva again? So, but yeah, if you haven't got a Canva account and you're a business owner, I definitely recommend just signing up for a free account, canva.com. I'm not on commission, by the way. I just love it. But yeah, so there are paid options, and there's a pro account as well. But yeah, Canva, I first actually started using it in another business that I had. So I had an online equestrian store with my sister, and it was, when was that? I think that was probably around 2016, 2017. And we actually created our own equestrian brand, and we didn't have a physical shop. We were very limited on, we couldn't get to events and things because my youngest was only about 6 months at the time. So in order to drive traffic to our Shopify store, we relied heavily on social media, really. So it was through that business that I actually started to work with Canva, and then I started to apply it to my Pink Diamonds business. So yeah, it was really, when I look back now at some of my very first posts, I think, oh my goodness, what was I doing? What did I think that was good? But it just evolves, doesn't it? Like, you can start off doing very simple designs, and then you start to begin to see what works with your audience, what they respond to, which topics they like to kind of comment around. But yeah, so the Canva system for my equestrian business, that was how I actually got customers going to the website. And it was just really exciting, because we literally, it was just, again, that was an idea that me and my sister had. We said, oh, wouldn't it be lovely if we had this equestrian business? And I said, okay, I'm going to do it, because I was on maternity leave at the time, and it was just a bit of an experiment, really. And I designed our logo in Canva, which, looking back, I think, oh my goodness, how on earth did we even get customers? So I did our initial logo in Canva, which it served its purpose. It got us noticed, and we were able to brand from there. And then after about a year, it was going well. So then I always advise, with a business owner, always use a professional designer for your branding, if you can, if you're able to, because they know what colours work, and they're able to give you your brand guidelines, really. So I always find it a lot easier to work with companies who do have like a logo designed. They have the fonts that they use, they have all the different colours, the brand colours and things. So yeah, that's quite a big tip, really. And then once you've got that set in place, you can then go on to Canva, and it just makes the job a bit easier, really. I've recently been working with a business who, they have got a logo, but they want a new logo, and it's been really difficult to try and pin down the consistency, really, because that's what you want the consistency, and you want your customers and your clients to see a post and instantly recognize that it's you, if that makes sense. But so yeah, I then we got it professionally designed after about a year, and then yeah, the business just grew, and we started to appear in magazines, which was exciting. The audience grew. So yeah, I literally, it was just Canva every day, really. I'd log in and think, right, what post do I need to do today? What visuals do I need to add into these posts? So I spent a lot of my time in Canva, and that's how I kind of taught myself, really. But yeah, I'm not a trained graphic designer at all, so it just shows that once you've kind of got the basics, you don't have to outsource things like that all the time. It's always handy to have a basic grasp of Canva, and even if you do outsource it, it's always good to know the basics, and then you can just do the little tweaks that you need as and when you require them, rather than having to send them off, waiting and then getting them back, if that makes sense. But so yeah, the business, the equestrian business, I closed that, I think it was January last year, because my Pink Diamonds business was really growing, and I thought, oh, I can't do two, and plus I'm a mum of two boys as well, 4 and 6. So so yeah, we decided to close the equestrian business. But then I thought, oh, I was starting to miss Canva, and I thought, oh, how can I weave this in? But and I think again it was very much fate, really. I started working with a big client, and they asked me to start doing social media posts for them, which I did in Canva. I also started to create recruitment packs for them, and presentations. So Canva can really, there's loads of different features that you can use it for. So I don't know if you want me to just share my screen for a little bit.
Yeah, we can definitely do that. You should be able to do it.
Right, share that one.
One of the reasons why I love Canva so much is because you don't need to be a graphic designer to use it.
Exactly, yeah.
It makes everything so simple. And
it does.
And we can start for free.
Definitely. Can you see my screen okay?
I can see your screen, yes, thank you.
So this is, I have 2 accounts. I've got a pro account, and I've also got a free account. So I tend to do any training on the free account, just in case clients they haven't got the pro features. But with Canva, I'll probably focus on social media for like visuals for this session. But it's one of the things is you can use templates. You don't have to start from a blank page. So I did an example the other day, and I just picked a random template. So this was the first one. It'll probably be there we go. So this was a Canva template that I selected. So it was very pretty, but I thought, right, I don't want it to look like that. So I then I started to customize it, and then we ended up with this one. Right, so I'll open that in a new one, and I'll drag that across. There we go. Right, so it's always a bit slow. I think it's because of the video.
Yep, could be because of the screen sharing.
Yeah, but yeah, so that was what I started with, and then I ended up with that, and it's branded to my colours, and I really love simple social media graphics. I think you don't have to, because I know some people feel a bit daunted and think they have to go into like great detail, they have to add loads of different features, but sometimes just a very simple yet striking image can just make people stop, you know, when they're scrolling through like LinkedIn or Facebook. So that would be one of my tips, really. Keep it simple. You don't have to use loads of colours. Always stick, if you have got brand colours, just stick to your brand colours where possible. Templates, like I've mentioned, I sometimes start from a blank page. Other times I'll start from a template, but in the back of my mind, my aim is to always try and make it look as far removed from the template as possible, if that makes sense. So it's always good to use templates as a starting point, but it's good to then customize it to your colors, change the images and things, just so it doesn't look like a standard Canva template. So that's always a nice one to keep in mind. What else shall I show you? Like once you have got your brand colours, and you kind of know you've got a strong feel of how you want your posts to look, there's loads of different things that you can do. There's presentations, there's posters, Instagram posts. There's even things like infographics. So you can, if you wanted to display lots of information on one page, an infographic template may be a good starting point. And again, there's so many different types that you can start with. But let's have a look. And I don't know if you if you've got a pro account, you're also able to actually schedule within Canva now. So you can create the social media posts, and then you can actually schedule them within Canva as well. You can link it to your social media account. So that's always a good one to have a play with. But again, that's a pro feature. So I think if you were to subscribe, it's about £10, or I think it's about £12 a month with the subscription. But yeah, and sometimes I have noticed that you don't always have to use visuals for your social media, especially on LinkedIn and things. Sometimes if you have got a long story post, it's LinkedIn doesn't always like you to use images. It can just be the more text-based posts that get noticed. So don't always feel like you have to do a visual for every single post that you're doing. It's better just to use the odd one to stand out. I know on Instagram it's always best to use well, you have to use images on Instagram, but when you're with on LinkedIn and Facebook and things, you don't always have to use an image every time. But yeah, it's I love it, and I think it's a really nice, I want to say gentle, it's just a gentle way of getting a business owner to be a bit more creative, if that makes sense. Like, some people may not enjoy it, but I really do. So right, let's have a look. Is there anything in particular that you want me to show you at all?
Yes, if you could show us how to, say, create a post for Facebook.
Yeah, that's fine.
Because that's the kind of post most people would need. Yes. When they are when they are telling people about an event or a launch is coming up, then they can use it.
Okay, then, excellent. Right, so in the free account, you would click on create a design, and if it was a Facebook post, you type in Facebook and click on there. Now this, to begin with, it will give you a blank page.
Yep. Then Suzanne, can you also throw in a bit of branding for us, in case, let's say, somebody has their own pictures or brand colors? So just help us.
Yeah, that's fine. So what I will do is, let's say I've got a Canva course coming up. I'll put in some text. Would you like me to go from a blank page or from a template? Shall I customize a template?
Yeah, whatever is easier.
Yeah, I think if you're just starting, it is easier to do to customize a template. So I'll do that one. So we will go with that one. There we go. So we'll start off actually, what I might do is I'll just turn off my, I'll stop my video, and then that will help hopefully make it a bit easier. And on Canva as well, on the free version, it won't remember your branding and things. So a good tool that I use, if you go into Google and Google eyedropper tool, so I'll just show you here. So you go to google.com, eyedropper tool, and there's quite a few different ones available, but it's a Chrome download, and it just, you can download it and it appears in your toolbar. Yeah, it's an extension. So
Okay.
the eyedropper tool, what you do is once you've downloaded it, it'll appear up there in your toolbar. So I'll go to my website and then I'll be able to I'll show you how it works. Yeah, so in the Pro version of Canva, you can set up all of your branding. So you have you'll have your color palette set up for you. You'll have all your logos set up, but in the free version, you don't have that option, unfortunately. So so this is one of my colors that I use. So you'd click on the eyedropper tool, pick color from a web page, and then it now gives you the exact color that you need to use for that particular pink. So
that's really cool.
It's really handy, and especially I use it. I design a lot of different visuals for a lot of different clients, and sometimes I don't have access to their branding and hex codes and things, so it's such a handy tool just to get the exact color. So instead of that being green, I can now change it to my pink, and it's the let's have a look. It's called the hex code you need, and it's a hashtag here. So
right. Okay.
there, and then we'll paste that code. There we go.
There we go.
So that's pink now. Right.
Yeah. I really like this tool you are telling us about, because at the moment what I'm doing is I'm looking for the specific number from my color palette, and that's what I put on the Canva,
right,
and fetch out my color. But
yeah,
this is even simpler.
Oh, it is. It really does save so much time.
Yeah.
So I'm just amending the text here. So this is just an example, but we'll get rid of that. So I put Canva for small business owners, and then you can change the size to whatever colour you want it to be, whatever size, sorry. You'll notice as well that these two boxes are joined up, and that means that they've been grouped. So what you can do is click on the corner and then ungroup them, and then you don't have to keep both boxes, and you can get rid of that, so you don't need that. There we go. And then I don't think we'll keep the waves, we'll get rid of them. I'll use a different colour for the bottom one. So I'll go back onto my website, and I'll use the light pink for this. So pick colour. I'll use the navy actually, so we'll go with navy. And then copy that. Right, it's gone over there. Right, there we go. So we'll go to that box, then we'll change that. And then in Canva Pro as well, you've got the ability to upload your specific fonts. So if your font doesn't appear in the standard version, you do have the option. You can either download some fonts for free, you can Google them, or you can buy them, and then you can upload them then into the pro version of Canva, which is again really useful. So we'll change that to white. And then you could put your website address here. And then if you wanted another box of text, what I tend to do is I'll select it and then Control and C, and then I'll Control and V, so that copies and pastes it. I'm all for saving time, and just I do use a lot of shortcuts. There we go, 6-week course. So we'll change that. I tend to use Montserrat a lot. If a client doesn't have their own brand font, I tend to use Montserrat because it's very standard, and it's just quite a nice clear font to use.
Yeah, I like it too. It's a good font for social media.
Yes, yeah, definitely. So yeah, so that's kind of the basic outline. I don't like all the caps, so that button there, you can click that and it gets rid of all the capital letters for you. And then if you wanted to turn them back, you can click on that again. So like on LinkedIn, I always get people to DM me, so I'll put, please DM me for more information. And so I'll probably use an image. So in the upload section, you could upload your own image, or you can search for an image, like a stock image. Some are free in the free version, and then others, if there's a crown next to it, then it's a pro image, so you've got to pay for that. So I always go for images which are very pink based, as you could imagine. That's a pro one. Free. Yeah, so if any with that crown, they're not free. So I'll just pick one. We'll pretend that this one is free, and that there will be a watermark on it. There we go. So you can literally select the image, and then you can make it as big or as small as you want it. You could literally cover the whole post, so it could be like that. And then there we go. And then you could change the letters, the colours as well. So you'd go back to that. And again, if you wanted it to stand out a bit more, you could then start to put in a few elements as well. So you could add a little border. Right. Sorry, I have a very noisy mouse. I do apologise for my mouse. So what we'll do is we'll turn that white. And then if you wanted the to still see the image in the background, you can click on this button here. Ooh, there we go. That button there, and it's transparency. So that just helps to, you can still see the image, but you can still see the writing as well. And then we'll change that colour also. Change that one. Right, there we go. So that's an example of one with an image. And then sometimes I just like to have the colours and the and just the letters, if you know what I mean. Just have block block colours, because that can be really effective. So again, you can, these lines help you to position it on the page. There we go. So let me see. So you can change, make that a bit bigger. Right. Or if, say, you wanted to do more of a inspirational quote, you could type in the quote text, and then you could add an image. So we'll put, you may have noticed I love the sea. I'm really drawn to nature and the outdoors. So yeah, I do love the sea. Yeah,
and I think it's a great idea if we use consistent images, because it becomes part of branding.
Definitely, yes. Well, that's a pro one. That's a free one. Right, we'll use this one.
Yeah.
There we go. So we don't, well, we could bring that to the front actually. So we'll bring that forward, and then we'll put that there. So you can make that as big or as small as you want it. And then we'll make that more transparent. There we go. Oops. We can get rid of that. This is just what randomly came into my head. But yeah,
I like it.
It doesn't have to be really complicated, and really it doesn't have to be too fiddly, especially if you're just starting out. All you need is a bit of text and a really powerful picture that will really resonate with your audience, really. But and then you could have a bit of pink on there if you wanted. But yeah, I quite like the there we go. And then you could put your website there. So yeah, and then again, you can change that also. You could change that to a different color. You can position that. You can change the text, the font if you wanted. I always like the curly fonts for quotes and things, but that's not a very good one actually. But yeah, it's with Canva, you do need to have a bit of time just to set aside to have a play with it, really. But you'll start to find your style and what works for you. So but yeah, I hope that's helped, just to show you that you can easily create a simple social media post that will catch your eye, if that makes sense.
Oh, I think it was really helpful, because one big message that I took away from this was we don't have to make our designs complicated. Canva is such a simple and powerful tool that we can get a lot done without having the skills of a graphic designer. Well, if you have those skills, that's a bonus, but otherwise you don't need them.
Definitely, yeah, and as you become more confident with it, then obviously your designs could come a bit more complex and things. But yeah, to begin with, you don't need to have you don't have to have the graphic design skills. It's just about creating things that will catch people's eyes, really, and draw attention to your post. Just going to see if I can stop sharing my screen. Pause share. Right, start video. See if this will. There we go. Right, you can see me again now. So
yeah. Right. If you can stop sharing your screen, then we can see more of you.
There we go.
Yeah.
There
All right. So why don't we do a quick recap of the main things that you told us? Keep it simple.
Yes. Yeah, keep it simple, keep it on brand if you can. If you do have a set of brand guidelines, or if you've got them somewhere and they're buried in an email from your designer from years ago, it's always worth revisiting that and just refreshing what your brand guidelines are. Use templates, don't be afraid to use them. They're a really good starting point, and they're definitely less daunting than starting from a blank page. But it's always good to have in mind that you don't want it to look how it started, if that makes sense. Try and put some twists on it that'll make it stand out, and not just a template on Canva. It's not just for social media posts. There's loads of different ways that you can utilize Canva. So like you could start to use it to create proposal documents and things like that. And then don't always use visuals. You don't feel under pressure to create beautiful visuals all the time for every single post. Just use them as and when you feel it's appropriate and you want to draw people's eye and just stop them from scrolling. But yeah, you don't need you text-based posts are fine, but yeah, it's nice to sprinkle in a pretty post every now and then. So
yeah, variety keeps it fresh.
Definitely, yes, yeah, good to have variety. And yeah, the eyedropper tool, that was so if you Google eyedropper tool Chrome, then that's a really handy one to bear in mind. So
brilliant. Suzanne, thank you so much for sharing this wisdom with us. How can people work with you?
Well, you can find me, I spend a lot of time on LinkedIn, so you can find me on linkedin.com, I think /in Pink Diamonds OS, or you can search for me, Suzanne Evans. I do a lot on LinkedIn, and I also I run like 1 hour training course. So it's basically just teaching business owners how just the basics really of how to get your Canva account up and running, how to create a social media visual, and you'll also end up with a few templates that you can keep and start to customize yourself. So yeah, that's I've really enjoyed it today. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. When we finish, will you be kind enough to drop all your links under this video so that we have everything in one place?
Oh, excellent. Yeah, that's great. Thank you very much. I hope you found it useful.
Yes, it was very useful. And thank you so much, Suzanne. It's been a pleasure.
Oh, thank you. Take care. Speak to you soon.